It had not been the best of days, as Claudia had just been remarking, without contradiction, to Eleanor Thompson and Lila Walton over tea in her private sitting-room a short while after the prisoners had been freed. She could do with far fewer such days. And yet now to cap everything off and make an already trying day more so, there was a marquess awaiting her pleasure in the visitors' parlour downstairs. A marquess, for the love of all that was wonderful. That was what the silver-edged visiting card she held between two fingers said. The Marquess of Attingsborough. The porter had just delivered it into her hands, looking sour and disapproving as he did so, a not unusual expression for him, especially when any male who was not a teacher invaded his domain. "A marquess?" she said, looking up from the card to frown at her fellow teachers. "Whatever can he want? Did he say, Mr. Keeble?"
"He did not say, and I did not ask, miss," the porter replied. "But if you was to ask me, he's up to no good. He smiled at me."
"Ha! A cardinal sin indeed," Claudia said dryly, while Eleanor laughed. "Perhaps," Lila suggested, "he has a daughter he wishes to place at the school." "A marquess?" Claudia raised her eyebrows, and Lila looked suitably quelled. "Perhaps, Claudia," Eleanor said, a twinkle in her eye, "he has 2 daughters." Claudia snorted and then sighed, took one more sip of her tea, and got reluctantly to her feet. "I suppose I had better go and see what he wants," she said. "It will be more productive than sitting here guessing. But of all things to happen today of all days, a marquess." Eleanor laughed again. "Poor man," she said. "I pity him." Claudia had never had much use for the aristocracy. Idle, arrogant, cold-hearted, nasty lot, though the marriage of 2 of her teachers and closest friends to titled gentlemen had forced her to admit during the past few years that perhaps some of them might be agreeable and even worthy individuals. But it did not amuse her to have one of their number, a stranger, intrude into her own world without a by your leave, especially at the end of a difficult day. She did not believe for a single moment that this marquess wished to place any daughter of his at her school.